Alright, this is going to be a short video talking about timestamps and searchability using hashtags. So what we have here is a video of mine that is a programming problem. It is a 20-minute video and it goes over a specific problem called grocery register. So as you might notice in the first part of what I've got, I have decided that I will name the video by giving it its sort of title, or I should say its topic by saying it's a problem, because a lot of people search for programming problems. So problem grocery register. And afterwards, you might see here that I have three hashtags afterwards. I have JavaScript, I have a programming one, and I have a programming question one. And so the neat thing about this is that by adding hashtags at the end of your title, you make it more searchable because these videos then get added into those topics. And the nice thing about it as well is that by typing in your hashtags, you can see what hashtags have lots of stuff and what don't. So you can add your video to be found in a larger pool, or you can create new videos on lesser touch topics, which is always useful. So as you can see, JavaScript has 174,000 videos across 23,000 channels, which is fine. You know, programming and programming questions, because this is the sort of thing that you would do in interviews. Additionally, you might see that I have a short description here. That's sort of obvious. But the one key thing that I did want to sort of bring in mind here is the way that we begin our timestamps. For you to get the maximum effect out of timestamps, you want to make sure that you start your timestamp at 000. And there's a big reason for this. The reason for this is that if you start it at a place that's not 000, you don't get the chapters effect. You get working timestamps, but the chapters effect is different. So I'm going to leave these details as they are, and instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the video link. So here on the video link, what I can see is those hashtags have now become searchable. So I can go ahead and click on these and see what's going on. So if I click on this one here for JavaScript, I can now see what videos appear under JavaScript. If I went to programming, I can see what's going on in programming, and I can do the same thing under programming question. So there's my video. It's the latest in a couple of things, which is quite nice. And as you can see, it's already got 2 views, which is kind of cool. But that said, let's pause that. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was the reason that we needed to start at 000. When you compare it to videos that don't, you see that there is a functionality that is missing. Because as you can see, if you click on the description, it works just like any other. But underneath, the automation of YouTube descriptions takes 2 apparent forms. One is in the visual creation of chapters, and this isn't just limited to YouTube. This exact thing here, this section, actually appears within Google search as a searchable thing. So all of these different things, you know, problem description, explanation, writing the approach, defining grocery register function, all of that stuff appears as searchable Google terms, so not just limited to YouTube. So you actually are creating lots of different ways to be searched for and watched on different platforms so you can be found. Additionally, you can actually get a visual effect here where you can see the different sections. If you actually click here at the bottom next to the view markers, where you can see if I highlight here, it says view chapter. And when I click that, it says I can view the chapters here. And I can see a visual of all the different chapters. Now, you might think that for short videos like this one, where I only have 4 chapters, it doesn't really make a difference. But there are key cases where you can go ahead and really go in and go ham with these chapters. That way you can make your videos very, very searchable and pinpointable. And the best example that I have for you is the D&D episodes that I record. So, what I've got here, let's close this. What I've got here is a video that covers the latest D&D session that we did in June. So this is an older episode for sure, because we've had others. But as you can see, there are lots and lots of timestamps here, tons of them, and I actually make notes a lot, simply because, as you might imagine, in a D&D episode, and equally in like an instructional section, you might want to take note of like all the different sections that happen so people can follow you step by step. They're probably going to watch the entire video, but you know, if they got to go back at a later point, they can catch up later. And so as you can see here, I start at 000. and then my first timestamp, the end of the recap, happens at 3:30. Subsequently, what happens from there is, you go into, your under 10 minute, then over 10 minute, and then at the hour mark, you just mark it off as if it were, 1 hour, 2 minutes, etc., etc., etc. And then you go on to 2 hours, 2:05, etc. And you can do that for a maximum video length of up to 12 hours, because I think that is the maximum amount of time that YouTube allows, 11 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. So the nice thing about this is that when you have this all set up, it kind of looks a little bit like this. So here, this is the video in question. And so my video over here has all the timestamps available here, formatted as I want to see them. And let me just refresh this real quick. It has all the timestamps as I definitely want to see them. And what is also nice is that now the functionality of the chapters isn't just limited to this list here, but also with a visual landmark of what is going on at any given time here via the chapter. And so I can go ahead and see what's going on at a moment's notice. So I have this put together here in chapters. And just like with the shorter video, this is also searchable on YouTube. So if I did, post intro extra Joe recap, or other stuff here where I get an invitation to the Stonemail Mansion, meeting Lord Cletus Stonemail, or other stuff, or whatever other chapter timestamp I've got it all put together there. So I can visually see and click where necessary, so I don't have to worry about being in the description. And I can check where I am without losing sight of the video. So I don't have to scroll up and down and then it snaps back up or whatever. So those are the benefits of essentially adding the hashtags to your titles, so that way you add searchability and topic relatability to your videos where they can be grouped together, like so, under programming here. But additionally, the nice thing is that when you timestamp things and you start at 000, you unlock that capability of being able to see the chapter analysis here, both in text form and with the chapter analysis automation down here at the bottom as well. Alrighty, so yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Hope this helped.